Hello, hello everyone, and I welcome all of you to Online Study for You, a complete placement solution. And today we have a special guest with us. His name is Avik. He is special because from metallurgical branch, he has got placed in TCS Prime for a package of 9 lakhs per annum. So let's welcome to our platform Online Study for You. So welcome, Avik.
Hello, sir. Good evening. It's been my honor to come here in this platform and speak with you. Um,
That's great. So before I move ahead and I bombard with you, with the questions like how did you apply, and that's my general question actually. Can you please introduce yourself?
as you mentioned, sir, my name is Avik Kaur. I'm a 2024 graduate from Jadavpur University.
Hmm.
I belong to Kolkata, West Bengal, and I have graduated from the branch of metallurgical engineering. So, I come from a core background, but it did not stop me from getting a placement in the coding sector, in the IT sector. And after lots of hard work, I have been able to get my placement in TCS Prime.
Okay. So just one question. Like, did you ever realize in your during your college, right, that I am from metallurgical background and a TCS Prime, like their coding is involved, they offer such a good package, and you will get placed because see somewhere like in your mind it will be definitely there that okay, I'm from the non-core branch, I'm from civil, I'm from mechanical, I'm from metallurgical. So how did you, I mean, first of all, that thought was there with you, and how did you come over of that?
Um, that thought, sir, as you mentioned, it was like not inbuilt into my mind because coming from Jadavpur University, I have seen my seniors getting placed, so I knew what roadmap to follow, and my seniors were there to guide me.
Okay.
And apart from that, I also kind of had decided that I want to go on this path because during my after giving WBJ through which I got into Jadavpur University, my
Mhm,
first preference was obviously getting into the computer science branch, but I could not get into it, so I
mhm.
got into metallurgy. But I had it in my mind that I need to go into the IT sector and get a job like this. So I decided to work hard, and based on those hard work, I think I've gotten a placement in this company.
So, just one question. So, what was the role of online study for you in your TCS Prime selection?
Online study for you really played a huge role in my in helping me achieving my dream of getting TCS Prime. I took the TCS NQT crash course, and it really helped me in improving my aptitude and my reasoning skills, also my quant and reasoning skills. So apart from that, those mock interviews that I gave with online study for you, those really helped me a lot and helped me in getting a better understanding of where I lack, where I need to prepare more. So I would like to thank you, sir, for making all this possible.
Thank you. Thanks for your kind words. Okay, one personal question. You might feel bad, but I just wanted to, keep it for all the people. So, how do you feel like your communication skills? So, do you feel your communication is very good or average or below average?
I would rate myself around 7.5 or 8 out of 10 based on my communication skills. Uh, I think it's not a barrier, and if you are not too bad, it's generally communication skills are not a barrier because I've gotten on-campus placements in two other companies also. So
Mhm.
I don't think it's a very
That's a
big
that's
barrier
a very
unless
good
you are too
point.
bad.
Yeah, that's a very good point you have put here. So that's what like I'll be always telling a student. So more than your communication skill, your knowledge, your skills. So your tech skills should overcome all these challenges. So see if you are able to convey something to the interviewer, that's more than enough. So and if you have very good communication skill but if you have no knowledge, then the companies which you have got selected, it will be impossible. Okay, next question is, can you tell me how many companies, I mean, which all companies you got placed?
Apart from TCS, I got placed into companies which belongs to my sector. This is the metallurgical industry.
Okay.
Those are JSW Steel and Reliance.
Hmm.
I got placed in those two companies. Those were
Okay.
through on-campus placements.
Oh, JSW, my uncle also works there. JSW, good. It's a very good company actually. The environment and all those things is very, really
Yeah,
very
yeah,
good.
yeah. It's a very good
Okay.
company, definitely.
So so the next question is, was it anyway you mentioned, but I wanted to hear once again from you. So was it on campus, off campus, or when did this company come? How did you apply? So you got to know through the college, or so that's like the beginning how you started. for that.
Sir, are you talking about TCS?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So TCS it was kind of off campus only. Like it was kind of a mixture of off campus and on campus.
Mm-hmm.
I gave TCS NQT in the month of April,
Mm-hmm.
last week of April.
So
That
that
is to
will be
say,
off campus only, I guess, because
yeah,
April.
yeah, yeah. That
Mhm.
that can be called kind of off campus only. So I gave TCS NQT in the last week of April,
Mhm.
and in the last week of May, I got to know about my result. That is, I've been shortlisted from a prime interview,
Mhm.
and I gave my interview in the month of June,
Mhm.
and my offer letter was released in the month of July. So it took almost 3 4 months for the whole process to be completed.
Okay. So you received this joining letter some 3 days back, 27th. So 3 days back. So
Yeah,
how
yeah.
are you actually feeling? So after receiving the joining letter.
Right now, I'm feeling absolutely delighted that I have received my joining letter. It's been a long wait, but I'm thankful to TCS for giving me my joining letter, and I hope to start working with them very soon and based on my joining date.
So
And
one
I
thing
hope it
you
will be a good experience for me.
missed to put that you have got joining location in your native place only. So I think that is the cherry on the cake. So you got
Yeah,
your
yeah,
joining
yeah.
it plus you got your like native only. I mean Kolkata only as a joining place, right?
Yeah, yeah. That is definitely a very good thing that I got my joining location as which was my first preference. That is my hometown only. So, and for that, I'm really thankful to TCS for giving me the joining based on my home location.
Okay. The next question is so let us come back like where students are eagerly waiting. So how did you actually prepare? So okay, you had enrolled to TCS NQT crash course, but see the courses like I tell to all the students also the courses will only tell you okay so what exactly you have to read, how you have to read, maybe the mock test or mock interview would have helped, but the effort you have to only put, right? See, if you
Yeah,
will take course and after taking course you got selected, that will never happen, right? You also accept that, right? Anywhere you take
yeah,
from me or
definitely.
you take from IIT or you take from anywhere, so definitely you have to put effort. So how did you plan like your study like on daily basis? Okay, so this much of time I have to focus on aptitude coding. So you started coding in your second year, third year, first year. So I want like little bit detail here. So if a student, and also if a student has limited time, then how they will be able to use this crash course, or how much time they should spend on daily basis. So that is what I wanted to hear from you.
Yeah, yes, sir. It is a very wonderful thing that you said that you can take the course, but you have to prepare it yourself. There's a quote in Bengali also that you can bring the animal to the pond, but it has to drink water by itself so that it gets its thirst quenched. So
Correct.
that's the case. Even after taking the course, if you don't work hard, then there will be no selection.
No,
And
it won't be selection. So many of the students will come and say, "Sir, if I will get this course, I will get selected." I said, I will say no. Only taking this course, you cannot get selected. You have to put effort. You have to watch the video. You have to practice the paper. You have to give the mock test. Then only you will be ready for the. And then if you study hard, you will definitely get selected. So that's what I say to all the students. So you take the course from wherever you want. It does not matter at all. You have to study. So what was your plan, and how did you achieve this?
so, sir, as I mentioned previously, that I loved coding. So
Mhm,
I used to participate in quite a few hackathons and other competitions that are held by colleges and other departments.
mhm,
So from that, I was in touch with my coding background,
mhm,
as well as since in my department, like we don't do coding, coding does not has such a huge role to play. So what I had to do was participate in these hackathons, and also I did some amount of competitive coding, that
mhm,
is in code chef and code forces.
mhm,
So that is what I used to do. Apart from that, for getting to TCS Prime, I would say TCS Prime or digital. I would say that doing lead code, easy to medium courses, that would be enough for getting into TCS Prime. The questions level, definitely the question level has that increased in the last few years by a certain level. But if you have a good understanding and good knowledge about the data structures, concepts, and algorithms, then it would be enough for you to get crack into TCS Digital or Prime.
true, true. And what about aptitude, reasoning, or availability?
Aptitude reasoning, I used to do from your course only. I used to do. Apart from that, there are several websites like and another India Bix website is there. So from those websites, I used to also take give the tests and practice my aptitude.
Okay, great. Anyway, we have also now introduced a lot of mock tests now, and some of them are prepared by you only. If you must be aware of that. Okay, so that's great. So because the people were earlier looking at multiple platforms, then we thought, why see it's similar kind of questions. We only in form of practice sets we brought and mock test so that they spend the time at one place instead of searching the multiple things at multiple
Yeah,
places.
yeah, yeah.
Great.
That's definitely a really helpful feature for the.
Yeah. So my next question is like, do you remember how many questions from each sections were you able to attempt correctly? So may not be like exactly how many you did because there is no negative marking. So people will attempt all the question, but like correctly if you remember like in aptitude, reasoning, verbal ability, and then advanced aptitude,
Yeah.
reasoning, and coding.
Um, I will start with the coding one first.
Hmm.
So for the coding section, I attempted 2 out of 2 questions. All the questions I attempted,
All test case passed.
and all the test cases were passed for those coding questions. I think coding has the maximum weightage in TCS NQT while they select which call
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
participant gets. So and in the coming to the FT section, in the advanced quants and FT, I attempted I think
14 question will be the
14,
total.
14 to 15 questions I attempted.
No, no, total.
That
No,
means I
no.
got correct. 14 to 15 questions I got correct.
No, no,
I
I
think,
think 1 minute, I'll just correct you. So in the normal aptitude, there will be total 20 questions will be there. So
acha,
normal
acha.
reasoning, 20 question, and I think in verbal ability, 25 question will be there. So you are saying that in normal aptitude, you solved like around 14 to 15 question correctly, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In normal aptitude, I solved around 14 to 15 questions.
Okay, and then what about reasoning
Reasoning, I solved around 1 or 2 more than the normal aptitude. 15, 16 it would be.
Okay, and verbal ability? Verbal ability will be generally easy.
Verbal ability, I marked each and every question, but I think around say, 17, 18 would be correct out of those
25. Actually, verbal
25.
ability it's very tricky, so we will not be able to see aptitude. No, if you get answer, it's correct. If you don't get answer, it's wrong. But in verbal
Yeah, yeah,
ability, we will be feeling okay. So the arrangement and all, so it is correct, or so that will be there. But anyway, the cutoff will be like around 50% maximum. The cutoff will be, and that's great. And in advanced aptitude and reasoning, there was 14 questions were there. So how many were you able to solve in that advanced aptitude
Yeah, there I solved around 6 to 7 questions in advanced aptitude.
and
I
reasoning?
remembered looking at one question and spending too much time on one question. So that is the thing that you should not do. If a question does not look like you can solve that question, you should just move on to the next question. No, no point in dwelling on that question.
True, true, true. Okay, and what happened to the interview? Like how much time the interview went, and what all questions were asked, if you are able to recall.
My interview went on for nearly 15, 20 minutes.
That's all.
So yeah, 20 minutes only,
Okay.
not more than that,
So
because there
all
was a
three.
huge number of
Okay, so all three were sitting
students also.
together. So HR, TR, MR, all three were sitting
No, no, no.
together.
MR and TR was the first round and HR was the second round.
Okay, so can you tell what all the questions were asked to you?
Yeah, so as soon as I entered, they asked me they asked me to introduce myself.
Mm-hmm.
I started introducing myself, and then they looked at my resume and picked up a question based on my resume. Like they asked me what is the difference between use case and case study. They asked me this question because I had participated in my college days in quite a lot of few case study competitions and hackathons.
Mm-hmm.
So based on that, they asked me that question. I
Okay.
answered it, and then they moved on to like what all coding languages I can code in. I mentioned them what languages I'm proficient in.
Mm-hmm.
Then they asked me to write a query in SQL.
Mm-hmm.
So the question was that I had to the salaries of employees were given,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to find the top 5 highest paid employees.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave me a paper and a pen to write the query, and I wrote that.
Okay.
After that, they asked me, they uh, gave me a pattern to print.
Mm-hmm.
So The interviewers, the atmosphere generally was very calm and chill. It
Mm-hmm.
was very good atmosphere was maintained by the interviewers. Like,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and so I coded the pattern. After that, they asked me about some algorithms like the Dijkstra's algorithm
Mm-hmm.
and those kind of things. They also asked me about linked list
Mm-hmm.
and. mm and at the end they just asked me like, have you done machine learning, are you like, because I had certifications mentioned in machine learning, so that's why they asked me about machine learning.
Mm-hmm.
So I mentioned that, and then it was the end that, and I was good to go.
Okay. And what happened in HR?
In HR round, generally not much happened. They just they asked me questions like, are you ready to relocate, are you ready to work in night shift, um, will you be comfortable? Why do you want to join TCS even though you have offers from two other companies? Those kind of questions they ask me, and why TCS? Like, those are the kind of questions they ask me.
Okay. Good. So the last question to you is, so you got selected for TCS Prime for 9 LP, right?
Yes.
So क्या करोगे आप इतने बड़े अमाउंट का?
अभी तो सर फिलहाल मम्मी पापा का बहुत बड़ा हाथ है। आप पहले तो उनके आशीर्वाद के बिना ये कुछ नहीं हो पाता, तो ऑब्वियसली मम्मी पापा को के लिए कुछ करना है मुझे।
Great, great.
बाकी देखते अभी ज्वाइन ज्वाइन करूंगा, देखते जैसा जैसा
That's
जैसा
a
होगा वैसे वैसे करेंगे।
that's a good thought. So is there any
And
suggestion?
said, I want to thank you also. You also played a huge role in me getting TCS Prime. I also
See, it's all the
want to
effort
thank you.
which you guys put at the end when you get selected, when you get a offer letter, we feel very happy. So frankly speaking, we never ask any student, okay, so do this, do that. So if once they get selected, we really feel very, very happy, and we want them. See, my thing is like, okay, if you get selected, I don't want anything from you. What I want is, okay, so you now know in your life, always try to help someone, so you will get immense satisfaction. So that's what I have seen, and that's what I am doing from long time. So if anybody gets selected because of your this thing, if a small role is also there, you will feel very much happy. So that happiness you cannot even compare with this 9 LPA.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, definitely,
that
definitely.
you keep doing it. So whenever you get a chance, you please help out. And actually yesterday I put this message in the group, and then some few people said like, sir, I want Vika to come to the platform and guide us. So I approached you, and thank you for coming to the platform. It's like I'll be always grateful to
Thank you,
you.
sir, for having me. Hope the students will get something valuable from this podcast.
Yes, yes. So the last question, I mean not the last question. I just wanted to tell you, like, give you some suggestions. So which a student they can, I mean they can basically implement it and they get selected in the off-campus exam which is planned for TCS NQT 2025.
Yeah, so what I would firstly say is coding is the most important thing for getting a call in TCS Prime or Digital. If you are able to solve one coding question completely, then you will definitely get a call for TCS Digital. And if you solve 1.5 questions or two questions completely, then you will get a call for Prime. So practice coding. Generally look at topics which are like linked list, arrays, strings, and other kind of things. Like graphs are generally not yet asked in TCS, but they can ask. The question level has been increasing year on year, so they can
Mhm.
definitely ask about graphs. But keep looking at these data structures and algorithms and get yourself refined. And apart from that, coming to the aptitude part, if you solve like if you solve two coding questions, then, and if you manage to get a decent score even in the aptitude part, like even if it does not have to be very much above average, but even if it is average, then you will get a call for Prime or Digital. So, but also I would like to say that keep practicing aptitude daily, like at least give 1 or 2 hours to aptitude, so that in when you are sitting in the exam center, you don't feel pressure, you don't feel that nervousness within you because you have not practiced enough. You should feel that yes, I have done this before and I can do it here now.
True, true.
So that's the thing that I would want to say.
Okay. Thank you. A big thanks to coming to the platform and guiding a student. All the very best for your future interviews.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.